Hey, I'm back. I got a comment stating that I should do some more of these 8Q tutorials for Codewars. And I was kind of already planning on doing so tutorials with like Scratch or Python, but let's start with these JavaScript ones and see how it goes. So today we're going to be doing Abbreviate a 2-word name. It's an 8Q challenge. So basically what you have to do is you got to write a function. It's going to take a name like this one right here, Sam Harris, and it's going to abbreviate to S.H, just the initials. So I'll show you the way that I did it, and then you can kind of try out your own ways with that afterwards. First things first, I'm going to be working in VS Code, and it's been a while for me, so I kind of had to get used to it again. So if you are also using VS Code, here's a few little pointers for you. So you want to open up the terminal, kind of just like the fastest way to test these out. You can hit Control and backtick. That will pull up the terminal. To run JavaScript locally, you'll need Node. So what you can do is you can do npm. Well, you want to make sure that you have npm first. So you can do npm-v, and I have that installed already. If you don't, you could just kind of look up how to install npm. It's going to be quite similar to how I'm going to install Node. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use npm, and I'm going to say install Node. Hit enter. Watch that install. And there are the Node modules up here and the package with the information about what we just installed. So let's give our console a quick clear. And what I'm going to do with these challenges, I'm just linking up the script to the index.html. So if you just do a quick, you can go into your index.html, you can type the exclamation point, hit enter. There's the boilerplate. Go underneath the body. You could do type script and then src, and you'll do whatever the name of that JavaScript file is. Mine is script. So let's hit save. Let's hope this works. I'll go into my script. I got a console log right here. So it should say, if I use Node to run this script file, it should say hi back to me in the terminal. Cool, it works. So we're good to go on this challenge. All right, so we're going to get a name first. So let's locally declare a variable. Declare the variable, we'll just say let name equals John Doe. Save. What we're going to do is we're going to write a function. We'll just call it abbrev name. It's going to take an argument. It's going to take, basically it's going to take this variable right here, and it's going to do stuff with it inside of these curly braces. So like if I said console, wow, it's been a little while. If I just said console log name, and if I remember correctly, nope. Here, let's do this. Return name. Return name. Console.log. Abbrev name. Name. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna be messing this up so bad right off this. Oh, okay, yeah, we're fine. Okay, so we're returning. So the function is basically it's taking the name and then it's returning the name, and then if I console log the function with its argument, it's gonna just give us that name. If I just told the function, I don't know, console log. Hopefully I'm doing this all correctly. If I told it to do that, yeah, it'll say hi, and then it's undefined. I don't know. Let's just get into some of the functionality of this. So, okay. First things first. Let's do the way that this challenge, it wants us to return these as capital letters. So what we're going to do is we're going to make a new variable. We'll call it upper. And then what upper is going to do is it's going to take name, and it's going to use this method to uppercase. And it's going to take this name, turn it all to uppercase. If I do, watch this. If I run node, so it's getting an undefined, because in these functions you always have to return a value. So return upper. So we'll save that. Node script. Okay, so it's taking our name right here, John Doe. It's going to create a new variable, and what the variable is going to do is it's going to say, hey, take that variable up here and turn it to uppercase, and then return it. And it's going to say, it's all in uppercase right here. It's returned. So the way that I did this one is I split it in. I used the split method. So I basically I split these into two different arrays, and then I took the first entry of each array, which is basically just each letter, and I returned those letters. So let's break that down. I'm going to create another new variable. It's going to be called array, or you could name it however you like. It's going to, what this variable is going to do, it's going to take the upper variable, which is this John Doe right here, and it's going to split them, and it's going to split them with a space, right? A space in between. So let's not forget return array. Let's save that. Let's see what this does. Clear node script.js. Let's run that. All right, so we have an array of two values, John and Doe. Now, what I want to do is I just want to return the first value of each of these arrays, and I want to put a period in between them. So we are going. I can just do this in the return a statement. And what you can do is you can use template literals, which allow you to dynamically return values. So I can return these these values right here, however I'd like. So let's kind of do an example with that. When you're using template literals, you need these backticks. If you're unfamiliar with where the backtick is, it's underneath the escape key, usually next to the 1 key as well. So for template literals, you need that. You need the backtick, you need the $, and you need the curly braces. So basically, I'm going to say, I'm going to first pull array 0, which if you're familiar with using arrays or parts of values, we don't start at 1, we start at 0. So anytime you see this 0, basically just means that I am returning the first one. So let's just see what this does. Okay, so returning entry, the first entry of that array, which is John. So now I want to return the first letter of that entry. So what you can do is you can just let's just add another bracket with the first entry of that array. Let's save it. Let's run it again. So I have J. If I were to change some of these values, like let's say I were to switch this for a 1. Also, side note, every time I am making a change in here, you'll see a little circle up top in VS Code right there. That means it's unsaved, so I'm hitting Control S to save that. Just a side note, if you're trying to run this code and it's not working. So save. I'm going to hit the up arrow to kind of go to just pull up my last entry. in the terminal here. And I got the O, so that is from the John. That's the O right here. I can go through the next one, 2. Let's run it again. That's the H. And then let's do the 3. And whoops, save and run it again. There's the N. Okay, cool. So, and then if I change this one, that would be pulling from this do entry right here. So if I went to the right here, we'll say this array, which is technically this one right here. Let's pull the first entry from that. We got a D, and we got the let's say that one. What's this one going to pull? The E. Okay, so we're pulling the first letter from the first entry in those arrays. So that's a 0, 0. Let me just save that again and run it. We got a J. Okay. Last thing we have to do is we just have to get that second, bit from the second, what am I trying to say? The value from the second array entry. So let's do array. This is now array 1 or number 1, and then first letter of that, which would be this. Let's hit save. Let's run. JD. Now I'm using these template literals, so I'm dynamically pulling these entries from these arrays. But what you can do is you can add plain text in between them. So I could just do the period. So it will be, letter 1 from that first entry, and then period, and then the I said them the other way. It will be the first entry in the array, and then the first letter of that, and then same for this one. It will be the second entry in that array, and then the first letter of that. So let's hit save, run it. We got JD. Okay, so we're going to take this and we're going to copy it and run it into Codewars. Test it. Worked before. Test it. Good. Attempt it. Cool, it passed all the tests, and then when you're ready, you can submit it. Yeah, so that's today's challenge. I plan on doing more of these. I'm probably a little bit rusty. It's been a while, so I'm going to see if I could do more of these, and hopefully I will get a little bit better at teaching them. Cool. See you next time.